Hey YouTube, welcome to the show. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, and do your thing. So recently, Hollywood has recasted another woman and man for Romeo and Juliet, and this time they decided to play race swap. Right? They gave the role to a black woman. Now, I don't think she is a perfect role for this sort of movies, especially when you're doing this whole gender swap thing, because you are going to get a lot of comments based on featureism, right? And that's the reality here. So let's go ahead. Let's see what this is all about.
We are so used to our black woman looking mix that when we see an actual black woman, it's making people mad that she's not feminine enough, that she's
Yeah, bro, listen. This woman is average, right? Nothing wrong with her at all. She's just very average. She just looks like someone's daughter somewhere. But when people watch movie stars, they're not watching movies to go look at very average people do very average acting, right? They're here to either see stars and or something that will keep them into some kind of fantasy land, right? This is not someone who, white men are going to come to watch this movie and then, no, it's just not it, right? They could have cast Zendaya or some other person who's there. Even that girl with the weird bug eyes from that princess movie with the Little Mermaid. Even she's better than this. That's the reality. So I think black people, especially black Americans, 'cause I don't think Africans care about these kinds of things, right? Because I think in Africa, we don't have this obsessive culture of bringing up with us the lowest common denominator. In Africa, poor people exist. They know they're poor. Rich people exist. Middle class people exist. In Africa, we have ghetto people. We have ghettos. We have rich estates. We have all manner and types of culture, right? In Black America, because I'm extending this more than just this featureism nonsense, right? In Black America, there is this vision of wanting to bring everybody up with everybody else, right? So in this case, when a black woman is being casted, instead of just saying, yeah, you know what, she's probably getting all those featureism comments because she just doesn't suit the role of this kind of movie, right? This is not a historical piece on some woman who did something great. This is a story written by a white man in the UK, England specifically, about love in Europe somewhere, right? It's a story about Europeans falling in love from different families, right? We're talking about this thing actually being said. I don't know, is it Italy or Spain? I don't really care, right? I think it's Italy though, right? These are supposed to be white people, and again, it's a love story, right? So I'm just saying, no. The reason she's getting hate is because she just doesn't fit the role that people want to watch this movie. I would not watch this movie because it's stupid, but people have their own reasons.
not the kind of black woman we want to see. We want her hair to be loose. We want her eyes to be blue. We want her skin to be light. You don't want a black person to play the role. If you as a black person think that she's not pretty because she's too masculine and she doesn't deserve the role and it deserves to go to somebody lighter or who has a thinner nose or who has a smaller jaw.
This bitch just doesn't look good. Let's leave it at that. She doesn't look bad. She just doesn't look good either. She's very average. Very, very average, right? And as I mentioned before, people watch movies because they want to watch superstars or rather supermodels, right? That's just a reality, right? And this is true for any race, right? It's nothing to do with black women or anything like that. To be honest, people are also pissed off that they did the whole race swap thing as well. So on top of doing a race swap, they give you a very average woman to represent you. At the end of the day, I don't think that does anyone any benefit. Write your own stories, black people, right? Go write some love story there, right? About some ancient Yoruba and ancient, I don't know, Dogon tribe, right? Selling each other to the white man or something. And that would be a nice little premise instead of having Romeo and Juliet. Call it Adelege Ulu and Nosaneke. Make a movie about that, right? Two warring families, right? Over there between the Oyo and I don't know, like Dahome, and then the people are from different families and they fall in love, and then one of them gets sold by the other family, so the other one goes and gets sold too. I mean, that is just Romeo and Juliet by Africanized, right? Go make your own stories, and I think that would be more interesting. Then you can cast, your black woman with the dreadlocks or whatever it is that they were wearing in those days. But going to Hollywood, which is majority white media, right, distribution network, and then first of all, not even making a comment that this whole race swap thing shouldn't have happened, then complaining that people are complaining that this woman doesn't look good. Well, she doesn't. She's very average, right? There's nothing to admire from her. And I don't know much about her acting, but I'm sure it's not anything special either. Otherwise, I would have probably known more about it since I watch a lot of TV and media, right? So I don't know anything about her. She doesn't look necessarily interesting. And this is an issue with Black people around the world. They love to keep making complaints and turn everything into racism and featureism. And sometimes some people just don't meet the requirements, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Nothing wrong with that.
Or who has more feminine features, baby, we will never be free. As in, we will never be free.
Sometimes it don't make no sense.
Hi y'all, my name is and Black Erasure, and today I'm going to focus on featureism. So there is an actress called Francesca Amiwuda, and she is cast to play Julie.
Now another thing, right? Black Americans need to be complaining. This is not even a Black woman. This is an African woman, right? So you're out here making complaint videos about Black women. This woman, first of all, Romeo and Juliet said, I believe it's Venice or something, right? I don't really care, but it's somewhere in Europe, right? And there should be white European people, right? Otherwise, they would have mentioned it, right? Othello, they mentioned Black people, right? Shakespeare does. They mentioned the Moor, right? The Blackamoor specifically. This woman is not even Black American. She's African, right? Very African. Sounds very Nigerian. So I was right. So Black Americans should be even mad that they're getting an African to represent them, right? Africans don't have most of the time genetic admixture. Black Americans at least have that 20% sweet white DNA in them, making their features nice.
In a Romeo and Juliet play alongside Tom Holland. In my last video, I had
no offense, like seeing this, I'm not seeing the chemistry at all, right? I'm just not seeing it. If I wanted to watch a movie and I see this picture here together, it's not going to entice me to watch this movie at all. I don't see the chemistry. She looks a little bit fat, as well. I'm not fat shaming. I'm just saying she doesn't fit the role, right? It looks like a B-list movie. It looks like something made with a budget of $10,000, right? There's nothing interesting that I can see that will make me want to watch a movie with these two co-stars, right? Over there, I just don't see the chemistry. Right, and he should be complaining even more about the swirling and the purposefulness of creating more mixed people by having Black women in co-hosting in love stories with white men, right? But that's not what they want to talk about. Everybody, she's not bad looking, but she don't look good, right? She's very average, right? Look at that, right? She has like a resting African face, right? So yeah, not bad, just not good, right? But you're right, she's not bad looking, right?
And she is cast to play Juliet in a Romeo and Juliet play alongside Tom Holland. In my last video, I had referenced the fact that Francesca was being likened to a man. There is an actress called Francesca Amiwuda.
I mean, look at that picture, right? Like you look at her, all you can think is, auntie, when next time you go to the parties, bring me some jollof rice back, please, auntie. Right? There's no sex appeal at all in her. And as I mentioned, right, these movies require to have some sex appeal. She looks like an auntie. Again, nothing wrong. She just looks like a human being, a normal human being auntie. Right? That's all I'm seeing here. Not my own world. She always crying about colorism features. Exactly. She's always crying about stuff, right? Sometimes just know that you're not good enough. I like Black people to understand this, right? Some Black people have hair that is just not good. Some people have faces that are not good. Some people have bodies that are not good. Some people have other things that are not good. Some people's IQ is just not that good. But it doesn't mean anything about you as your spirit, as a human being, right? They always, she's also Nigerian. That's probably why she's crying about this lady so much, because she's Nigerian. Shout out to you, right? Exactly. It's like, no, you're not a sex symbol. It is what it is. You're not beautiful. You're just a normal, average-looking human being, right? You're not going to force us, the rest of us, to to forego millions of years, or rather 250,000 years of human male evolution, so that you can somehow feel better about yourself. It's kind of interesting. These are the women I feel bad for, because everyone else is like, oh no, the male gaze is too strong. Oh no, catcalling. I mean, no one calls you, right? Whether on the streets or on the sheets, nobody calls you, right? You're probably one of those people who people use, that's what I'm saying, right? You're not her, right? That's just the reality. Get over it. Get over it. You're not her, sis. You're just a random, average human being. No, nothing special about you, and you're not even smart or intelligent to a point that it adds value. You're just normal, average person. Everybody says. What's funny is I be watching them divest black women. BWE. What's that? Anyways, black women, huh? Black and white. I don't know. Black women on YouTube, and they be saying white men like black women who look like this Francesca lady. Okay, so good thing. Yes. I believe that black men actually fetishize very average-looking African women because they fetishize the features. When it comes to featureism, you can't actually get a fetish for certain looks. Like I know my fetish for the looks, and my fetish is not because necessarily they look better or anything. It's just because it's a fetish. Yeah, a fetish is a very specific thing. It's like it's a thing. Yeah, they have a fetish for very, very African looking women.
Who is playing in the Romeo and Juliet, and people were literally likening her to a man. They were not judging her off of her talent. It was not her marketing team. It was because she is black. It is because of how people see dark-skinned people. And in the comments,
well, I mean, yeah, sis. First, understand that this is a white movie written by a white man about some kind of people in Venice or wherever it is that they're from in Europe, warring each other, right, between the two families there, right? So already she's already the wrong cast. They should have casted Zendaya or something, right? You're already not white woman, right? And that is your original Romeo and Juliet story, right? Two white people falling in love from differing warring families. This is already wrong from that angle, right? Adding a black woman, then at that one that people are not going to be like, oh, she's cute. No, people like to watching or listening to these movies about love, and they project certain things, right? Beauty, maybe sex appeal. She doesn't have any of that. She's just a normal, very average looking human being.
of my last video, a lot of y'all had brought up the Francesca topic, so I thought it would actually be a good idea to get into a deeper to do a deeper dive on this topic. So today we're going to be talking about the masculization of black women and how that is essentially touching with featureism. I want to just start off by saying that when it comes to Shakespearean plays, the first Romeo and Juliet was played by men, two men, and a man who was playing in drag. So a man.
Oh no! So she's gonna start talking about the play, right? The play was played by men, right, in drag. Well, yeah, I mean that's true because at that time in England, right, where the play was first played, women weren't supposed to be out there acting, right? Acting was a man's job, so of course men played as women, right? But what's your point, right? You want these people like to bring up irrelevant things to try to muddy the water, So I'm sure her argument is, well, the first time that they made the play, it was actually two men, one in drag. So you know what? They already did gender swapping, so maybe race swapping isn't so bad either.
Pretending to be a woman. So the idea of like keeping it sacred and keeping it like true to this originality is a fallacy. There's been so many renditions of Romeo and Juliet, so many different spin-offs, but people didn't seem to have issue with it, right? But when you hire a monoracially dark skin,
yeah, people don't have an issue with it because they weren't a black woman playing a white woman. Oh, duh. Like, seriously, right? Renditions. I've not seen a gay Romeo and Juliet, trust me, made by Hollywood. People complain about that too, right? People like to keep the essence and the spirit of the story, right? The story is about two heterosexuals, beautiful white people, not about some black woman coming there. At that time, that woman would have been a slave, right, in Vienna or Venice, wherever it's I believe is one of those places, right? She would have been their slave, right? That is not the reality of this story, right? If you made a modern rendition of Romeo and Juliet, I guess in the Bronx, right, or something, fine, do that, race swap, right, because that's realistic. But if you keep the fantasy, or rather the medieval elements to it, it just doesn't work, right? Black people were slaves at that time in, I don't know, Spain or Italy, wherever it is that this movie was is supposed to be based under. right? So no, 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 no. If it was a gay movie, they would have complained. They just don't want a black woman because that's their story. White people wrote this story. Leave it alone. Go and make a story about Olagedon, some man from the Oyo tribe, and Orisha from the Dahomey tribe, right? The warring slave trader families that fall in love, right? The son and the daughter fall in love, and then one of the other sons is sold by the Orisha's family into slavery, and of course she thinks that he's actually sold to slavery. So then she goes and joins a ship with him, and thinking that he's been sold into slavery, but then it turns out that he hid. And then when he sees that she's already been, on the ship and he's actually on the shore, she kills herself, and then he kills himself, right? Make your own Romeo and Juliet, right? Don't go around stealing from white people and claiming that people are being racist to you. You just don't look the part. Leave them alone. M-Trick says, crying and complaining about nonsense, typical black behavior. Unfortunately, that is something we're beginning to see a lot. I hate Shakespeare. We forced to read. Look, we were forced to read Romeo and Juliet and Othello in high school. Yep. Romeo and Juliet. It's been mainly black women fighting to be included in these white movies and stuff. Yeah, you know what? I think they have a fetish. Like I mentioned, right? There is something called the master-slave dialectic, right? You can read about it. It's from a philosopher called Hegel, a German philosopher. And it states that, in certain communities or interactions, you will have a master and a slave, right? So black women are playing the slave within the master of white men, and they want to be included in his fetishes and his exploit because he's at the top of the game. They don't, see, black women don't fetishize black men because black men don't have power. So yes, 100%. Black women are obsessed with this inclusivity stuff because they want to be included into the white man's world because they see the white man higher than the black man, 100%. That is the analysis there. Black women, I love seeing interracial content. I wonder why it doesn't translate to real life. Oh, that's funny.
Black looking person, suddenly everyone is up in arms. And you know why it upsets me? I'm not surprised that the palm colored people are uncomfortable or upset. Like that one, I'm like, listen, they gonna get mad anyway. Like that one I see. What I don't see, and what is the most disappointing, is the amount of black people that are siding with them and saying that she is not fit to play this role simply because of how she looks.
Okay, let's read this. Westy.ali. It is not racism. It's just that people don't think she's pretty. Just cast Zendaya already. I agree. I mean, literally what I said from the beginning. She would have been much better of a choice and it would have worked much better, right? She just isn't pretty. Obviously, she's not. She's average. These black women are insane trying to project their very mid averageness into the world and for everyone to accept them and to glorify them. Bro, you're not going to get the male gaze unless there's something to gaze at. That's how this shit works, right? The next one says, is she going to play Juliet or Romeo? Yo, that one, shots fired, man. The second comment is definitely mad. The second one definitely hits hard. Next one, Dos Eddie. I don't want to be mean, but I think the real issue isn't the race. It's just her. They would have been better off with Halle Berry. Yes, and you know what? Look, white people can make these complaints because they have eyes, right? Are you just going to... Listen. I'm a scientist, right? I'm nowhere close to the number one scientist in the world. I haven't really discovered anything worth, praise or admiration yet. Now, imagine they start casting me as Africans and say, look, Kaiser is our number one scientist, right? It's like, no, I'm very average in the things, exploits that I've done, right? So, no, this is the issue. Black women want to be out there praised for doing nothing.
About femininity and how I feel like a lot of how we view femininity is in opposition to blackness. So people were likening Francesca Amawuda to a man and saying that she has very masculine features. But what I think people are trying to say is that Francesca Amawuda looks black. She has a broader nose. She has fuller lips. She has darker skin. There was this trend that was going around TikTok a while ago where people will show what the feminized version of them looks like and what the masculinized version of them looks like. And every single time that it would do a feminized version, it would literally lighten your skin, make your nose smaller, make your lips kind of look like this very doll-like look.
For example, look at this beautiful man here, right? Shout out to what's his name again? Michael B. Jordan. Look at him, right? If very beautiful man, right? Very African looking beautiful man there, but let's turn him into a woman and you see how beautiful it looks.
Make your lips kind of look like this very doll-like.
Look at that very beautiful woman now, right? The transgender version of Michael B. Jordan looks better than this woman here. So when those white men were saying, you know, is she playing Romeo? Is she playing Juliet? Like that list I showed earlier, it's accurate, right? Here it is, right? The second one, is she going to play Juliet or Romeo, right? I don't want to be mean, but I think the real issue isn't race. It's just her. I agree, right? White men are right. See, the issue is black women want white men so much, and they want to push themselves into white men because they don't think their mate is shit. And that's it, right? Simple as that. These are race traitors over here trying to complain that, you know, people are saying that they don't look good. Listen, you're very average. You're very average. I'm not going to go around saying I'm the number one scientist in the world when I'm very average. It doesn't make sense. Now, I am one of the highest IQ people in the world because that's a fact, right? Focus on the facts and focus and don't push around the fiction. Like, it's simple as that.
Francesca Amuda to a man and saying that she has very masculine features. But what I think people are trying to say is that Francesca Amuda looks black. She has a broader nose. She has fuller lips. She has darker skin. There was this trend that was going around TikTok a while ago where people will show what the feminized version of them looks like and what the masculinized version of them looks like. And every single time that it would do a feminized version, it would literally lighten your skin, make your nose smaller, make your lips kind of look like this very doll-like look. And just like literally like makes you look more racially ambiguous. And where we are with our beauty standard, racial ambiguity and elements that look like racially ambiguous is considered beautiful. People were saying that they wanted Francesca Amuda to be played by Zendaya. Like when I scrolled through the comments, there were so many comments saying, why did they pick Francesca when they could have picked Zendaya? This is what I mean when I talk about.
Because Zendaya looks good. I don't know. Okay, look. The only time I actually know Zendaya was in that movie, TV series called Game of Thrones, right? Then I found out she's the one in Dune, right? In Dune, she just looks like some random Arab in Dune, so nah. But in Game of Thrones, she fit a role really well, right? She was playing as one of the slaves from, I don't know, some North African country, and she looked like a mixed race, half black, half something woman, right? But she fit the role, right? However, if you cast this Francesca person, the movie's going to flop, first of all. People are not going to go see it, right? So it's even an economic problem.
Black erasure. Zendaya is biracial.
What do you mean black erasure? This is not a movie about black people. Go make a movie about Dahomey. Go watch The Woman King. Then you can see a real strong, independent, beautiful black woman, right? In her glory. Watch The Woman King. That's a movie for you. Leave white people's movies alone. It's simple as that. Right? The Woman King is where the beauty of an African woman queen. Sure, let me show you The Woman King, right? That is not this. Stop complaining about black erasure. Go watch black movies. You see this very beautiful black woman who's a king, right? Let me show you guys. Let me share my screen, right? This is the beauty of the black woman. This is how the black woman looks. That's her. Look at that. Very, very beautiful. A lot of sex appeal. Look at that. Right? This is not black erasure. Go watch a black film. Look at that. Look at that very average looking king. Very beautiful African king over there. You see that? You can't even compare it. Like, this is a true nature of the black woman. So you guys, you need to know that's it. Look at that, right? Very, very average king over there on the right. Even looks very feminine. Very beautiful African king over there on the left, right? That is the beauty of of the black woman, right? So stop complaining about black erasure. There's no such thing, right? There's a black movie about black women, who are kings, who were ruling over men and being one of the best slave catchers, right? That's it. Dahomey. That's your history, right? The actor is even Nigerian. She's not even a black American. So imagine this, right? You're casting an African to play a white woman and to pretend that she's a black American woman. It doesn't make sense, right? This is a very beautiful African queen there. I mean, king, right? Look at that. Look at that.
To play so many black women, and there have been many mixed race women who have been chosen to play black women, to the point where people are upset when a mixed woman is not playing a black woman. And I think the reason that so many people like to champion mixed race people as the image of blackness is because it shows a better statistic of how
you could have even chosen to put what's his Lupita or something, right? Lupita is again very mid, right? Lupita is also very mid, but she looks much better than whoever they casted, right? Stop casting Nigerian women, who some people claim that some Nigerian women look like men, right? Cast at least Lupita Ngongo, whatever her name is, right? She at least looks the part sometimes, right? At the very least, you know, be smart about it, right? She's a high-profile actress. People watch her movies just because she's there, and she looks more feminine, right, compared to that Nigerian woman that they tried casting. So, I think, unfortunately, this is just people projecting their own insecurities. They know that they're very average, but they wish to God that they were seen as beauty, right? Oh, you know what? I think black women are jealous of white women. Why? Because white women can complain about the male gaze, how men look at them and they make them feel all these bad things. And the black woman has never had that. Nobody looks at a black woman like that. So they're jealous and they wish they had the male gaze, but they just don't, right? No one is out here checking for black women. And I think that's the issue, especially the white man.
We decided to not count every mixed race person as a form of success, and we were to look at monoracially black people. I think that we would see that monoracially black people are doing really badly, and the progress that we've had over time isn't going to be looking as good.
When she starts talking about monoracially black people do badly, what do you mean, right? The top black actors are all very dark-skinned men, right? I think you mean monoracially black women, right? Nobody's hating on black male actors, right? The top actors, my favorite actors, are more or less monoracial, right? Denzel Washington, that guy who looks like a frog. What's his name? What's that nigga's name? The one who played in Django, right? He's a monoracial black actor. Will Smith is probably admixed. I won't bring him in there. Plus, he's not really a man, right? But I'm just trying to think. Yeah, Wesley Snipes, great. I don't really know many actors, right? Idris Elba, the other one who played Snowfall. These are all very much, or Oyabega, Luya Guy. These are all very monoracial black male actors, right? Who actually are winning in the game, right? It's the black women who aren't winning in the game, right? That's the reality. Exactly, the Boyega, right? The guy from Star Wars, the Luya guy, Kaluuya guy from Get Out, right? These are growing actors. Even Jonathan Majors, right? Before he kind of lost a lot of his contracts, right? When he started beating white women. So, unfortunately, it's just black women. You guys are just very mid. It is what it is, right? Yeah, Daniel Kaluuya. You guys are just mid. Accept it, right? Move on, right? Nobody wants to watch your content, right? Nobody sexualizes you, right? And it's sad because we're in the dawn of feminism, where you want to fight oppression, but no one is oppressing you the way that everyone else is being oppressed. So you can't even get into the party, right? It's sad, yes.
I wonder what the statistics would show if every time we talked about black people being in successful positions.
No. Do not say black people, my sister. Say black woman. As black men, we are not having the same problems. It is a black woman problem. We go out there and fight. The dusty ones are dusties. In fact, you prefer the pookies and the rares. Because you say that they lay down the pipe, yet they're not even a plumber. They don't even have a plumbing degree, but you still let them lay the pipe. This is the problem. Then when you have a clog in the pipe, and now the clog gives birth to a parasite, you start complaining. You cannot sleep with Pookie and Rere who don't have a plumbing qualification because they lay down the pipe and then you get a parasite clogging your pipe.
We were talking about monoracially black, unambiguous people. I think mixed race people being seen as a form of progress mixed race people being seen as a form of progress is a part of an agenda.
You literally just showed us a movie with a white co-host or a co-star and a black Nigerian woman. You didn't make a comment about that, but now you're talking about mixed race people being there to erase black women, mate. How do you think you create these mixed race people? By the movies like this, you should have started by, I don't like these movies where white men. But you know what? Unfortunately, a lot of black women on the internet, they love the whole divest movement, right? And they claim that black men ain't shit. And this is it. You are creating some of these mixed race people who are being used to replace you. And there's nothing wrong with being replaced, right? At the end of the day, we're all going to get replaced by something else, right? Whether it's our kids or whatever it is, right? So sis, go to Nigeria. I don't get this. Go to Nigeria. You're a Nigerian woman. Go to Nigeria. You'll see Nigerian posters. Your face will be everywhere. Don't go complaining about racism and in a white European country. I mean, no, sis. Go back to your country. You'll see yourself everywhere, right? In the mirrors.
To make it seem like black people are doing well overall. Like, look, Zendaya's on the screen. Look, Amanda's on the screen. Cardi B is there. They want to throw all these out to make it seem like things are moving forward.
Moving where? Sis, you must understand. You are not in Nigeria. You are in America. America is a white country. You are a host. Or rather, you are being hosted in America. If you want to see black woman, go to Nigeria. Even go to Ghana. Even go to South Africa. You will see black woman everywhere. You want to go to someone else's country, then complain that you are not being glorified or being sexualized by their men? You are insane.
But we can really see how we actually don't have much, we don't really have progress, because when an actual black woman is there, people are up in arms and upset. We are so used to our black women looking mixed that when we see an actual black woman, it's making people mad that she's not feminine enough, that she's not the kind of black woman we want to see. We want her hair to be loose. We want her eyes to be blue. We want her skin to be light. You don't want a black person to play the role. If you as a black person think that
yeah, actually, nobody wants to play this role. I already explained it. This is a story from either Italy or Spain about these two warring European families. Yes, we don't want to see a black face in this movie. Not at all. Not at all, sis. Yes, you're correct. Right? I said go make a Nigerian movie. Call it Oladeji and Orisha. Oladeji's family is from the Oyo Empire. They have been the biggest slave traders. The Dahomey family from the Woman King. She falls in love with the guy from Oyo Kingdom. And then because the two families are warring, one of them gets sold into slavery, then the other one, but he escaped really. Then the other one thinks he's also sold. So she goes to the same ship. But then when she looks on the show, she sees that her lover is on the other side. Then they both kill each other, just like that. That is now Oladeji and Orisha. Go make your own Nigerian movie. Leave white people alone.
She's not pretty because she's too masculine and she doesn't deserve the role, and it deserves to go to somebody lighter or who has a thinner nose or who has a smaller jaw or who has more feminine features. Baby, we will never be free.
Sis, go and watch Nollywood. It literally exists, right? Go change Nollywood. Leave Hollywood alone. It's a white media. Let them make their own stories.
As in, we will never be free. And featureism is so nasty too, because sometimes I feel like featureism discourses are very difficult because I feel like people are really are being really disingenuous when we talk about featureism. So featureism is if I say that it's a discrimination of black features, it also means it's the acceptance of Eurocentric standards of beauty, which means a smaller nose, features that look more Eurocentric. And I feel like somehow the word Eurocentric, people just get really upset about the word. People were saying like Ryan Destiny instead should have played it instead of Francesca. Talk about how Ryan Destiny benefits from Eurocentric standards of beauty. I am not saying that Ryan Destiny looks white. I am very aware.
Oh, you see, you want ugly black women to play the role, right? Ryan Destiny just looks like an East African. She either looks Kenyan or she looks Somali or she looks some kind of South African, right? Depending on whatever it is. She looks decent, right? She does have feminine features, right? Her face does look more feminine. That's true, right? Yes. If you want to have ugly black women on screen, that's fine. Nobody cares. Go watch Nollywood, right? That's a reality. Right? Look, you can't compare this woman here, Ryan Destiny, to the other Francesca woman. This one just looks much better. It is what it is, right, guys? Right? If my IQ was the size of a peanut butter, do you think I'll go around claiming, oh, accept me and my small IQ? No. This woman clearly looks better than the other man. I mean, the other woman on the screen. It's simple as that. She's a Black American woman, but she looks more East African, and that helps in something. It is what it is, right? Yes, she looks better, sis. You don't, and that's fine, right? The same way my IQ is the size of a peanut butter.
That she looks black. But what I am saying is that her features are beneficiary in a world that literally only upholds Eurocentric kinds of Black women. And I know it's hard for people to hear because nobody likes to think, like, I think within within colorism discourse, a lot of dark skinned people are like, it's already hard enough being dark skinned. I don't want to have more nuances and realize that there's so many more intersections within being dark skinned. Like, there's just so many more, including featureism, including texturism.
Yeah, shout out to Boy. He says, if we're being honest, Afrocentric features are generally masculine. Exactly. That's why African men look good and African women don't look good. 100% Boy. Mashallah.
Including like the shade of dark skin you are. There's so much intersection. I think people don't want to really unpack that. And broader noses, bigger noses are masculinized.
These are masculine traits, right? It's a fact, right? You're not gonna hoodwink us, right? And I think also there's this aspect when it comes to women. I'm generalizing here. Women think that they can, it's called FE, right? They believe that they can shame you into accepting certain standards because women, that's how women's cultures and communities work, right? Women friend groups, they're all shaming each other, right? They're creating an undesired ideal, and then they shame each other if they, go in or out of that ideal, right? Men are not like this. It's very difficult to shame men. Men do what they want to do. So you're not going to shame men to accept a new beauty standard unless there are no other women around. It's simple as that. That's why I say go to Nigeria. You will not be having as much competition because everybody looks like this, right? Go to Nigeria. Leave America alone.
I've even seen people who get plastic surgery. I've even seen men who get plastic surgery and they make their noses appear bigger to look more masculine. They make their jaws appear bigger.
Yeah, because that's it. So stop bringing Black people. This is a Black woman issue. Black men look good, right? It's the women who don't look good.
And I always just want to remind you that our sense of beauty and what's considered beautiful.
You don't need to remind me anything. I have eyes.
Has changed so much over time. A lot of it has been due to colonialism. There's certain things like, take for example, in different African ethnic groups, people who have neck rolls is considered like a sign of beauty. Like personally, if I see somebody with neck rolls, I think neck rolls is one of the most beautiful, regal, like it just looks so good. But people make fun of neck rolls. Another thing.
Neck rolls do not look good. You're not gonna lie to me. I do not want to see a neck roll. What is a neck roll? You mean an egg roll? You're thinking about food too much that you start saying neck roll, but you really meant me. Exactly. Ew. Right? Exactly. Like everywhere. Some of these Black women literally think that they can pull the wool on us like we're just too stupid to see. It's like, no, that does not look good, sis. That does not look good. In which world does that look good? It looks like an egg roll around her neck. You're trying to tell us that is now a beauty standard. Double rolls on the neck. No, you want a slim neck, preferably over there. What is this? This looks like one of those. No. See, listen, we're men, okay? We're not stupid. We have eyes. You're not gonna lie to us.
Having dark gums. I think people who have dark gums are mad beautiful. There are tattoos that
nobody cares about gums. People, when it comes to featureism, it's two things, right? Your bone structure around your cheeks, the separation between your forehead and your eyes, right? And perhaps a nose or lips, right? Stop talking about superficial stuff like the color of your gums. Nobody cares about that, right? You're just now bringing in irrelevant things.
People do to intentionally have dark gums in a lot of African societies.
Nobody cares about that. And Africans don't have naturally dark gums, right? No, they don't.
Societies, especially like a lot of indigenous African societies, they will look.
Now you're going to bring in dusties, right? See, this is what I'm talking about. We're having a conversation about Hollywood and being seen on media and television. Now you're bringing dusty African tribes and using their standard of beauty, like putting some weird little tattoos on their faces and stuff, peeing drinking pee from cows and stuff like that, washing their face with it. No, let's leave that alone. That is not the standard, right? Stop bringing the lowest brow Black adjacent culture and then start promoting it as if it's a good thing.
Look at having black guns as a sign of beauty. And there's, now there's so many procedures to bleach or change the color of your gums, and having dark gums is considered bad. Another thing is the concept of
considered bad where I have run the streets of the interweb for many years. I have never seen people downgrading others because of the color of the gum. Unless you're in some very, very obscure place in the internet. This is not a conversation that takes place in the mainstream, my sister.
hyperpigmentation. Like, personally, I really don't like how we view hyperpigmentation because a lot of it is just rooted in colorism. And I feel like we are policed, like being black and having different tones and stuff is policed more than like any other group, especially when you're dark.
Mr. Ramuiz, I will give you all the black women, with the neck rolls. You can even be eating it like an egg roll every morning. Take them all. We do not want neck roll women. You can have a harem of neck rolled women, Mr. Ramuiz. You take all of them for yourself.
But the idea of having different colors on your body and calling it hyperpigmentation, like, I'm so sorry.
I'm done here, right? I thought this bitch was stupid, but this is it. Now she's against science, right? Literally, hyperpigmentation, that simply means some areas are more pigmented than the other ones. Hypopigmentation means the opposite. I'm done, right? I'm done, right? At first, I was willing to engage her, but at this point, this is insane. This is actually insane. She's against science now and classification. Bro is literally, and again, I did say bro is fighting against classifications, right? Now, saying that your skin is more pigmented on some areas is a bad thing. I'm done. I am actually done here.
But the idea of having different colors on your body and calling it hyperpigmentation, like, I'm so sorry, but I just don't like that. That doesn't sit well with me, and it feels like it's rooted in anti-blackness. Because freckles aren't considered hyperpigmentation, right? They're considered freckles. Like, it's a cute word when we think about freckles. When we think about darkness on dark people, it's hyperpigmentation. Anyway, another thing that I don't like about this whole Francesca Amawuda,
actually, freckles are a type of hyperpigmentation, right? This sister is definitely insane, right? Like, if you don't have the knowledge, just accept that you don't have the knowledge, right? Stop saying things, right? Freckles are actually hyperpigmentation. Right? That's literally what they are, right? You have areas of more pigment than other areas, right? They are literally a form of hyperpigmentation. This is the issue, right? It's literally there. Freckles are a form of hyperpigmentation where the skin has darkened in patches. Literally, that is what a freckle is, right? This is insane. Ramwi says, I'm confused you don't like our Niger Congo queen. Shots fired. And thank you very much for sponsoring the stream. Ramwi's other Dusties, get your money out and send support to the show so we can do more morning streams.
Where is he at in this? He don't have to say nothing. I don't like that. It always falls on the black woman. And I just wonder, what kind of support are they doing for her? If there's any even support at all? Like, is she just out here unprotected? Y'all love having black women in positions where it can put them in more danger because of the kind of audience.
Nobody wants her to be there. Nobody told her to go play that role. Bro, this is an African woman. She's just here to make peace, right? She's here to make bread. She doesn't even care about the racism and all that nonsense, right? That sister just wants to make bread. She's an African Nigerian woman. She don't really care. You go call her man, go call her monkey, go call her gorilla, but she gonna go and get the money. She gonna chop, so stop it, right? Nobody cares. It's only you and these very obscure, weird internet people that actually care about this kind of stuff. The lady's there to make bread, right? Simple as that. I would go into a movie. I'll play the little troll if I had to. If I'm gonna get bread, I'm gonna get the bread. Anyways, what's good, Jude? What's going on? Why is this? What's happening with your Nigerian sister over here, man?
Kaizo, tell me what's going on, man. I think she is Ghanaian, though.
Okay.
But still, I mean, both ways, she's either Nigerian or Ghanaian. So, so what is going on? Are the people in Hollywood the one complaining, or the London people are the one complaining?
It's the Americans, mostly white Americans, and
I mean,
they
why should white Americans be complaining? I mean, this is a London movie, a movie from the United Kingdom. So all the casters are from, I think they are from
oh, okay,
London.
it's a London movie. Interesting.
Yeah, yeah, it's a London movie. Romeo and Juliet. The guy that is involved is from London. The main character, the guy that plays Juliet, he's the guy that I think he was the actor for Spider-Man, and this lady is gonna be playing Juliet. But I mean, fast forward. Look, man, she's not. I don't know why Africans want to be involved in European or American stuff, man. And we get blamed saying the white man or doesn't. I mean, even though if the white people are complaining, yes, they should complain because they need. Romeo and Juliet is a British movie. I mean, where they have to have probably English characters, and that should be white people. I don't know why we have big actors in Europe and we don't want to come to Africa and make that venue very big, right? We want to give our all in over there, and when they don't want to put us in the major character roles, we call it racism. It's what unfortunate, man. I mean, even seeing it in most of these actors and artists in Africa, they do music and they pray and pray for them to be involved in the Grammys, so the Americans can pick them up and call them and give them award in the Grammys and stuff. They have to be recognized by the white man society. Once the white man recognize them, oh, they're now happy. They now look upon themselves as big guys in Africa. Oh, this lady now is, roaming around happy because the white people have included her in a movie called Romeo and Juliet, you know. So I mean, it's quite unfortunate, man. She doesn't pass the test of time of being beautiful. Matter of fact, if people are being classified as beautiful women, I wouldn't pick her at all. She doesn't fit the description. Um,
Exactly.
uh, uh, yeah, I don't know why they are calling it African. They should call her by her name and probably call her nationality or British or where her parents are from. But degrading and putting everyone in the same box as being
Exactly.
African,
Exactly, Judith.
you know what I'm
Judith.
saying? So
Judah, exactly. Why are they bringing the rest of us into the conversation when it's just about her? Look, there are very many beautiful Afrocentric women out there, and I've seen an African movie before. I'm trying to look for this woman specific, right? But she has very African features, very beautiful. She looks okay. You know what? What's that feminist name? Um, yeah, that feminist name. What's her name? The one from Nigeria. Do you know her name? I forgot. I forgot. Um,
Bobrisky, or what are you talking about?
no, 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 she's a
Female
woman,
actress.
Nigerian feminist. No, she's not an actress. She's just
Uh,
a feminist. I forgot her name. I'm trying to.
oh,
Chimamanda,
the
right?
one that
See,
write,
Chimamanda.
yeah, Chimamanda, yeah, the one that write books.
Yeah, Chimamanda is a very beautiful woman, and having an actor who looks like her, looks African, but is a beautiful woman. You don't need to go around lying. This idea that all African women have to be ugly, and then anyone who complains just says African features has to end. Right? Chimamanda is a
Kaiser.
beautiful African woman.
The problem is her is not beautiful. The problem if she was involved in an African movie in Africa, we wouldn't be having this color issue. The color issue is the British do not want her in the movie because she looks uglier. And this is the thing, we should start identifying where we belong, do things for our own people in our own society, in our own midst, instead of trying to be recognized by the white people in their
Yep,
own. We force ourselves
exactly.
into their own society, which makes no
Jude,
sense to me.
you're 100% correct, and Jude, that is exactly what the master slave dialectic is, Jude. Is this idea that we have to be always looking for acknowledgement from them. We can't just go and create our own things. Right? Anyone that complains about Hollywood, about representation and this, and they take it seriously, instead of focusing on supporting a new and upcoming directors, look, Nollywood has more than enough good cameras now. They have good enough sound engineers. Go and create movies there and just make it more internationally able to hit. The Black Book movie was a Netflix #1 for like 5 weeks. That was a Nigerian movie. So there's ways you can promote yourself without having to go rely on the people that you claim are racist. This is insane, Judah. It's like you going to you are a rat, right? You're going to a
Yeah.
fox's house and complaining that the fox eat you too much.
Yeah, the thing about let me see let me look. The thing about African movie, especially in Nollywood, I don't watch Nollywood movie. Um, I now watch African movies, but mostly South African movies that I watched. The matter is the Nigerian movie has evolved, but at the same time the settings have not evolved. The country has exploited all their movie settings in such a way where most of the time the settings repeat themselves in most of their movies. Now, this is the thing. Nigerians have not gotten that mindset where they could say, okay, let's make Nollywood an African center where they could act an episode in Kenya, in Nairobi. They go to Egypt, add an episode in Egypt. Go to Ghana, add an episode. Go to Cameroon, go to South Africa with all these tourism places that we have come up. You know what I mean? Getting so excited in different cultures and stuff like that. I mean, we lack some kind of scaling skill, how to expand our initiative in such a way where we could make movies that get so attractive, but it's only one, you could tell when a movie in Nigeria start, you could, from the beginning of the movie, you could actually tell how the end is gonna look like. You actually know who the what is going on, or the wife will be this, I mean, yeah, it makes no sense. I wish one day we should start expanding the movie industry into most African countries, into touristic places, and get a lot of actors from different countries in Africa involved. And then maybe these ones in Europe, we start finding pleasure in coming back home instead of us forcing them. Because now they want to be, I don't know, man. They just want to be those people over there in Europe. And I look, man, I blame, look, the black man, man. That's why I like when the white man look down upon us, even in America. Or that's why I don't get into their things, man. I just work. But I mean, you see all these guys playing for Europeans, playing for America, but because Africa is not moving forward, I mean, there is nowhere for them to go, man. It's a shithole. This lady, I think the money she's gonna be making for this Juliet movie, I don't think she can earn that in Nigeria if she was present over there, or in Ghana, But I wish if Africa had a bigger movie industry where you could have a lot of people coming in from every country, it would be a great potential, and people can actually make money in every domain. Now you could actually say, okay, this person is good in this person is good in that. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. Yeah, but this lady does not suit that role as a Juliet in Romeo and Juliet. That was a book that most people read in their secondary school days, and when you read that book, you could understood what it meant. Now having a black character to metamorphose that role, kind of I wouldn't say it's gonna degrade the movie, but I don't cherish that. She looks good as a character, but does it look good facially? No, I wouldn't say
Yep,
she doesn't fit the description. you know
she does.
she doesn't fit the
Yeah, she
description.
does.
If they were looking for beautiful Africans, at least they should look for the best. But it seems they were looking for
Exactly.
ugly Africans, so they could be talking down on Africans as well. You never know. Because
Exactly.
the white man is so smart, man. They say, okay, let's give this world to African. Now let's look for the ugliest ones, to depict them. So I don't know, man. It's just funny to me. And, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, Judah. I do believe that. Remember the minstrel shows, and also the Europeans when they used to keep Africans in zoos, right? They were there for. Okay, you know how there's a male gaze, right? What feminists complain about. Well,
Mhm.
there is the African gaze, right? Europeans will purposely look for African women who don't look good, just so that other, because they know the reactions they're gonna get, so that everyone is just there like laughing at us, right? And then we're just out here defending her instead of saying, yeah, you're right. She's not okay. For example, this beautiful woman here with Afro. That's a beautiful African woman. There, she has Afrocentric features and a nice Afro, nice skin. She casting someone like this, you're not gonna get this kind of backlash. The only thing they'll say, oh, we don't want black women, but they won't say she's ugly. Right? Why give us, mid-level, average-looking people and then complain about it? Jude, are you going to imagine you're a runner, right? And you run. Do you want to be the best runner representing a country, or a very average runner who gets made fun of? It's better to be the best runner, right? That's why I just don't get Africans. We like to defend mediocrity, right? Or black people.
Yep.
Yes.
That's one of our characteristics. We appreciate mediocrity. The things that are done in Africa, just because someone is being put in a role that she doesn't fit the description. Instead of us criticizing that, we're gonna be happy of it because she's African. And because she is involved in a white movie industry. Oh, she is involved in Hollywood. Oh, Hollywood acknowledge her. Oh, London movie acknowledge her. All these things. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, it's just it's so ridiculous to me, man. Seeking the white people attention. And the same time they come over and say, oh, white people are doing this to us. Oh, but you are the one seeking their attention, man. You want to get involved in their own things that they have built within their period, within their lifespan. Why not, build yours and take, like you said, man, it would have been great if she went back to an African country and create her own movie role. Come on. And people watched it. But now she want to be in the center of European movie industry. Let her face the challenges, man. That's just it.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So hopefully, things will change, and we'll kind of see Africans starting to do things for themselves, right? Like I mentioned, you mentioned actually, Nollywood needs to change. Nollywood needs to stop having the same set piece, right? That's now the issue. That Nollywood has the same set piece. European-looking old chairs with the very colonial house for the rich people. It's the same set. If it starts expanding, go ahead.
Let me tell you what happened. There was one movie that was acted in Nigeria. See, even this kind of stuff also happens in Africa. When we say racism. Matter of fact, Africans are more racist to their own people than the white man is more racist to black people. Look, there was a movie that was supposed to be acted in Nigeria, and I think one of the major characters was supposed to be Lupita Nyong'o from Kenya, and the role that they gave her was one of the major role in that film in Nigeria. And guess what happened? Nigerians were complaining on social media about why are they giving her the role? She's not Nigerian. She doesn't speak the Nigerian language, the broken pidgin. She doesn't know Nigerian culture. That part of the major role she is playing also means she has to be in depth in the Nigerian culture. This and that and this. So ridiculous, man. It was a lot of talking, man. I don't know how that movie went. I don't know if that movie was acted, because I've never watched it. I was just getting so irritated based on what they were saying. Just because she wasn't a Nigerian, she wasn't supposed to play the role. I think she did acted on that movie. But this is the thing, man. That's why I said there's something wrong with us. We will never get it, Kaizo. That's just it. We will never get it. Her acting in Europe, yeah, we will never get it. Yeah, you can go ahead, man.
No, you're right, and shout out to you, because you've actually added some layers to this conversation. We've actually seen that Africans are way more racist against each other, as you mentioned there, right? Because of small problems like that, instead of thinking of cultural unity, and how this is going to help, actually bring Kenyan audience, international audience
Exactly.
into the market. They're just complaining about small things. That's true. White people are far more inclusive even than us, right? And they're including a whole different race. We don't do that. Now, look, if they casted a woman that looks like this, right? This is an African woman. No, she's not mixed. Nothing wrong with it. But here's the thing, Judy. How long until Nollywood changes its ways?
Say how long?
How long until Nollywood changes its ways and
Yeah,
starts?
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when Hollywood. You mean Nollywood or Hollywood?
Nollywood.
Oh no. Nollywood is egocentric. They are so self-centered. It's a Nigerian base-centered movie industry. They don't want to expand. They only want to keep it in Nigeria. Like I said, their settings is getting old. Like they have all their cities have been put in their movies already. They don't want to expand it to say, okay, let's make this an African egocentric movie. When I talk of egocentric, I mean self-centered in Africa. The settings, you can have a settings in the desert. Act some kind of movies that will attract you. Go to Kenya, you go to Garden Road in South Africa, you go to Gambia, all these. Come on, man, bring new things, innovations, innovate, bring all kind of settings into it. How long will it take them? I don't think they're gonna get it even in the next 50 years to come. They might get it probably in the next 100, but not in this century. We are there's that division. They only want to be those people to say, oh, we have the biggest industry, oh, we have these characters, oh, we have this. I would have loved that the African industry unite, especially when it comes to movies. You go to Kenya, you take out at least 10 biggest actresses and actors. Go to Nigeria, go to these countries, Tanzania, Cameroon, Ghana, conglomerate and bring these kind of things, activities together, so people can watch everywhere they find themselves. You in Kenya, you're watching a Nollywood movie, you see Kenya involved. It expand the market as well. Instead of just seeing only these people. Yeah, I mean, that's why Nigerian movie is becoming boring. People don't watch Nigerian movie like they used to do. You go to Netflix, all what you want to watch is now European movies and other countries' movie, because it's getting boring. You find the same characters on it often and often. You see the same. Yeah.
You're right. Actually, yeah, Jude, we need to improve writing. Okay, I would say this is what's missing in African movies in general. The writing script needs to improve. They're telling stories, but there's a way to tell good stories. They don't do that most of the time. Another thing, the sound. When they start shouting and then it starts getting overdrive and you hear it's hurting your ears. They need to do better on sound engineering, and
Right.
And try different locations. Stop giving us that post-colonial Nigerian rich man look. It's like they use the same set. I promise you, the same house, the same props, the same chairs, and they all look the same. I can even pull it up right now. Right?
Right.
That's what everything is based on. Let me show you a Nigerian movie set. It's just one set that they use. That's now the craziness. Now, but Jude, look, Nigerians, I think, are a special kind of people. They are arrogant, so the problem with them being arrogant means that it's going to take them longer to change and to start, giving us what we want, like the viewers.
Yeah.
That's now the problem.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, I wish if these industries were getting acquainted with the new adventures that are coming in, as years goes by, movie industries is getting acquainted with the new lifestyle, and then I think these ones that are roaming around in Europe and America will have been rushing back home to join the movie industry. Even the Black Americans themselves will be running back to Africa, but because the movie industry in Africa is not expanding, like I said, the one that is really strong is in Nollywood in Nigeria, but they have not actually made a market for Africa as a whole. So we still have this division of like, oh, Kenya has to have their own movie industry. Oh, Nigeria has to have theirs. Oh, Ghana has to have theirs. In Cameroon, we have us. In South Africa, they have us. We, sh- we shouldn't be like that. I mean, when it comes to movies, it shouldn't be like that. Because I mean, based on skin color in Africa, we almost look the same, man. I would have loved to see a movie where a Somalian person is involved in it, you know, in a Bantu settings, I mean, come on,
Yeah,
man. And it's seeing different kind of skin color, Nilotic in it, a pygmy in it. You know what I'm
we
saying?
should have
Having
a
a pygmy and
we
a
should have a
Nilotic, man.
what we need, Judah, is an African version of Game of Thrones, right? We can have all these different ethnicities there fighting for power, and so that would be interesting. You see
Right.
what I'm
I
saying,
mean,
right?
having a pygmy and a Nilotic and an Egyptian and a North African. Come on, man, with all this mix. I mean, th- th- I don't know, man. I wish I was a movie producer, man. You know,
Yeah,
and go and
change, right?
exploit that industry.
100%, 100%. If I had some money, honestly, I would go into the movie industry and make something interesting. I know will sell. And also remember, Jude, we have advantages, right? Most African countries speak either English or French, meaning there's already a market for you. It's not you get it. Like we have, that's an advantage. The fact that we can speak English
Right,
or French. So and
right.
means that we can work within other African countries, right? It does unify us in that way. But we're just not
Bro,
doing it
African
enough.
population is 1 point something billion. I mean, just having a big movie industry over there will blow not only in Africa but in Europe, because there are also other Africans in Europe, in America, in other countries. You know, and you make sure the movie industry is translated into that major English and French. Then maybe maybe Swahili. Come on, man. Yeah, we don't know scaling, man, Kaiser. That's why most companies that you have in Africa, they don't last up to 3 years. Once the CEO of a company dies down, the company automatically dies. When the CEO is no more, the company dies down because there is no learning on the job. You have a CEO who owns a company. He built it from scratch. Say you have a restaurant, or a person that owns a restaurant. You know, give birth to his children, but send them to medical schools, and one of them became a lawyer. When they growing up, if their father passed away, they're not gonna, you know, take care of that restaurant because they are not used to, cooking and doing all those kind of things. So the restaurant is gonna die down because his parents did not, their father did not train them how to become this because they went to a medical school. But yeah, in United States, it's not like that. You have farmers that they have generation farmers that their father died and they pass it down to their son, who was also a farmer, by growing up, going to school and studying farming and taking over from his dad, and so forth and so on. That's why in Africa, man, we create things, but it don't last longer. It dies down, and yep. Uh, yeah, I don't know, man. She looks pretty, man.
Exactly, and she looks African. So why are these? Oh, it's Afrocentric features. She has an African feature. African. She's beautiful. So why why are they trying to make us look like we hate black women? No, she's a very beautiful Ghanaian woman. There, actually, any kind of woman, she's beautiful. So they can't come for us, Jude, and say that we just shout out to Ramway's second super chat, $2. Yo, Jude, our woman is better looking than East African women. What do you think of that, Jude? This one,
Is she from the east or west?
he's from Haiti.
Oh, she's from
Oh, she's
Haiti.
no. She's from West Africa. She's from Ghana. And
Oh,
then let me
so
show you
Judy,
this.
our women is better looking for who is EAW? What is that?
East African woman. So this is an East African woman from Kenya, and the other one is from Ghana. Which one is better? This
Which
one or
one
the
is
other?
better, man? I don't know, man. I hardly, but look, man, East African, they have some kind of texture that looks good to them, I mean, one thing about West African, they have a full face. If they eat too much, they become so bulky. Within a
Mm,
twinkle of an eye.
hmm.
That's where. But East African women, they kind of with the little how you call it, these their little food that they eat just kind of make them little skinny, and it makes them good for. I mean, yeah, they are good in their own ways, man. They are good in their own ways, but who looks beautiful? I think they both look beautiful, but when it comes to physical, East African women have that. Like I love Rwandese women, man. I would say Rwandese women before West or Central African women. So East African women, they have that structure, they have that
Sure, yeah.
body, they have that
Oh,
tall too in them.
bro,
So yeah,
Jude, when it comes to body, I think that East African women have the best body. I'll tell you why. Go to Rwanda or Kenya, depending on the tribe, of course, they have the best
right.
bodies, curves, and even ass, right? The only problem is the boobs are not big, right? But that is the
even Nilotic women, man. I was checking out a
yeah.
South Sudanese woman here in Utah, man. Man, tall, ass was there. She didn't have enough titties though, but that's good for me,
Mm.
man. I mean, I can grab a little something out of it, but you know,
Then for Ethiopian women, they have a nice face, but they don't have curves, and they have face and titties, but they don't have ass or curves. They look like a straight man with a nice face and boobs, but no ass and no curves. That's the issue with Ethiopian women, right? She
right.
just looks like a log, right? Like a tree. No ass, no
Mhm.
curves, boobs and face. So
Yeah,
you
they just
want these kind of look. That's not much better.
the only thing about most of Ethiopian women is just a facial look. That
Yeah.
habitual look mixed with all of that.
Yep.
But yeah, man. But like I said, I'm more into. I like Rwandese women, man. I like Rwandese women. I like East African, yeah, yeah, Rwandese, but Kenyan not a little bit, but Rwandese, yeah. You know, I'm into like the tall ones because I'm tall, man. I'm 6'4", so I like those really tall and
Oh,
skinny.
you could start a basketball team, right?
Right? I mean, if you say so, but I just like them tall, man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
So
okay,
yeah.
makes sense. So you're not a pygmy.
Oh, God. You the one that looks pygmy, bro. This guy, man. This guy.
You see, Judah, now we're making fun of pygmy. Pygmies are good people, man. I'm sure they're good friends and sisters of ours, right?
Don't Kenyans have pygmies?
Kenyans.
Oh,
No, we don't really have pygmies. I think Uganda is where you find pygmies.
yeah, but most Kenyans are short though. The height of a Kenyan in Western Kenya is the same height like a pygmy height.
No, no, come on, this guy is not the
Yeah,
same.
a normal height of a pygmy is like 5'9", 5'8", 5'7" in Cameroon.
It's how tall?
That's an
Wait,
average
five
height. I mean,
pygmies are 5'9". Come on.
yeah, man.
No way, Jude. You're making this up. Jude, a pygmy
Yeah,
is 5'9". Come on.
I'm telling you for a fact,
Do you
an
know what the
average
average
height.
height in Somalia is?
What is it?
It's 5'7".
Yeah,
So you're trying to
okay.
say
Go
the
online.
average pygmy is smaller than the average
Exactly. Go
Somali?
online and type the average. Let me check it out. Average height of a pygmy. Average height of a pygmy. Of a pygmy. Okay, average height of a pygmy. Oh, okay. It says 4'11". It says 4'11".
Guys, you see that? Jude tried to say that Western Kenyans, the Luyas and Luos, are on average the same height as a pygmy. Pygmy is 4'11".
For how tall are Kenyan women though? Well, because I've seen most of them like 4'5", 4'6".
No. It depends on the tribe, okay? So remember, Kenya's not like Rwanda. Rwanda only has 3 tribes: the Pygmies, and then the Tutsis and the Hutus. So you can generalize Rwanda, but Kenya has like what 45, 6 tribes, right? So Massa is a Tol, Samburu is a Tol, Kalenjin are Tol. Those are the Tol tribes. So it depends on the tribe. Kikuyus are short, actually, to be honest. Kikuyus are very short. They're the ones who I think have mixed pygmies. Also, Ethiopians are short, very short. Most Ethiopians are like 5'5".
Oh, okay. Hold on. They say African pygmies live in several ethnic groups in Rwanda, Burundi, Uganda, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Central African Republic, Cameroon, Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, Angola, Botswana, Namibia, Madagascar, and Zambia. Wow, there's no Kenya in it, but there's a lot of countries in it. There are at least a dozen pygmy groups, sometimes unrelated to each other. The best known are the Mbenga, aka Baka of the Western Congo Basin, who speak Bantu and the Ubangian languages.
Is Baka not one of your tribes?
Yeah, but Baka is a Bantu tribe, but I'm not a Baka, I'm Bangwa, bro.
Oh yeah, you're Bangha. Okay.
Yeah, I'm Bangwa. I'm all the way from the west, man. Huh?
Being a Bangha is actually better than being a Bamlika, So it's good that you're Bangha instead of Bamlika.
What is wrong with being a Bamileke, man? You pronounce it wrong. It's It's Bamileke, man. It's not a Bamlika. Come on, man.
Bamlika, Come on. Man, Dika. Come on, these tribes in Africa are crazy. At least yours is Bangha. I like Bangha. Right? Bangha is a nice one. You see, that's a good tribe.
Bangha, Bangwa. Bangwa.
Okay.
You see, in Cameroon, we have over 256 tribes in Cameroon, and majority of the tribes start with BAN. So you hear of the Bakosi, you hear of the Bakwere, Bangwa, Bamileke, Bafor, Bayangi. So, a lot of Basa, Basosi. So a lot of the tribes is like BA. That tells you about the Bantus, So yeah, Cameroon is the origin of Bantus, man. That's why we have all those tribes with BAN, Bangwa, Bamilekes, Bakosi, Bakwere, Barondo, Bas. Yep. But it is what it is, man. But I'm not a Baka, but an average height of a Baka is 4'11", and Cameroon is not the only country that have the pygmy people. You have over 11 countries in Africa, even in Zambia. That's why someone was even saying that. I was watching this Kenyan YouTuber. They call her Life Kenya. They drove from Kenya all the way to South Africa and back to Kenya. And they were talking about their adventure, and they said when they got to Zambia, they were really confused because most of their men were more shorter than what they expect. They were like, most of their men were like 4'11", 4 feet. I was like, wow, like Zambian men are really short. So I was like, man, it means they have that pygmy blood in them. Yeah. But when you come to Cameroon, when you talk of pygmies, like majority of us are not, because if it's only like it's a small portion close to the Congo, Central African Republic basin. If you see like the map of Cameroon, it's just that particular area, and most of the time they don't mix, so they just stay in that particular area. So yeah, but majority of that tribe will be found in Central African Republic, Gabon, Congo, DRC, Uganda, coming all the way down south to Zambia, Angola as well. So yeah, because I think the Bantus in Cameroon, the taller one, they got chased out, they chased the Baka out, so many of them. So
Shout out to Nakmizi for the €6. He says, "Ask Judah what spices and sauces he prefers with his pygmy value." Are you calling him a pygmy eater and a value and also poor because his value meals? Shots.
Now, now Mizzy is my guy, man. Sometimes he just gets so irritated with me when I come in with that high IQ, talking points. But now Mizzy, I prefer my hot sauce, on my chicken ribs, like you guys, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come to Cameroon if you want some bantu, some baka ribs or pygmy ribs. You know, you might have it. That will make you more stronger. It will make you, identify your culture.
Yeah, but what happened to the big bad Bantu that was defeated by a mixed race Nigerian? What's going on, Jude, man? The
Yeah, yeah,
biggest, baddest
Kaiser.
Bantu got beaten by
Let me
a
tell
Nigerian who's half white.
Kaiser. Let me tell you. History will not repeat itself because look, the Bantus are the original people of Africa, and there's gonna be a point in time when we are gonna claim back the African continent because we were taken and sold by slaves because we were that kind of a people where we were not intimidated to other Africans, but they find out that we were producing more numbers, right? We were giving birth to a lot of people, so our population was fast increasing, and other tribes did not like that. That's why most of us were captured in West Africa and sold as slaves because we were expanding over to that region as well. That's why during the Great Bantu migration, most of us did not expand over to the west anymore because most of our forefathers over there were captured and sold as slaves. So many of the Bantus that were there flee and came back to the central um, part of Cameroon. And then in during the Bantu migration, most of them instead descended south. So, but yeah, Africa originally is land of the Bantus people. Yeah, it's land of the Bantu, and we still have the knowledge that most of our ancestors were killed by the Niger deltas. The Somalians captured most of us. They use us as bridges. During the days, they walk on our backs and all of that. That's why I still have a hard spot for Somalis and sometimes West Africans, Fulanis, and all of that because if not of the Bantus as well in Cameroon who fought the Fulanis to their full swim, um, you will have realized that the whole of Africa will have become Islamized and Fulanized because the Fulani and their Muslim religion were spreading all the way down south, all the way to South Africa, and it was the Bantus in Cameroon that stopped them from from taking down that religion all the way down. If you look at the map, you will actually see what I'm talking about because if you go to Cameroon, at the north of Cameroon, that's where you find the Muslim people, and the south of Cameroon is mostly Christian, and that's where you have all the Bantus. So if we did not dig all these holes where the Fulanis who were coming in with their horses came and fell inside those holes that we dug in the night, you know, they will have defeated the Bantus, but we were more stronger at that point in time because we have regrouped ourselves and taken control of what was going on. But like I said, man, we still have record of what happened in West Africa, and there's gonna be a point in time when the Bantu people shall rise again and take over West Africa and claim it because Africa is for the Bantus. The original people of Africa are Bantu people, and that's it.
Okay, shout out. Ramwiz for $2. He says the Mundang and Mbam. Why all these Bantu tribes with some crazy Bumlika? Now it's a Bum. There's a whole tribe called Bum. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Like, bro, is are Bantu tribes gay?
What what is by what by what is bomb? are these tribes Bantus? The Mundang. Look, man, the Mundang, I know of the Mundang, slash bomb. I mean, you have the Tikas. Don't forget, the Tikas are also they live with the Bantu side by side. You must have heard of the Tikas. So the Mundang are the Tika, one of the Tika people. These are people that you could call them because the way the Bantus see, now in the Bantus you have original Bantus and semi-Bantus. Original Bantus are Bantus that have not been mixed with other tribes. They have kept their originality. So in Cameroon, you have people like us. We are original Bantus. Now you have mixed Bantus. People that have mixed with other tribes. They have mixed with, other, you go to like South Africa, you have Bantus that have mixed. Even in East Africa, in Kenya, you have Bantus that have mixed with Habishas and Nilotics and all of that. And you come to Cameroon, you have some Bantus that have also mixed with other tribes. Now these are people you call semi-Bantus. They are not original, they are not full Bantus, so they are semi-Bantus. And most of the time, the Tikas are also one of those group that were, they are Bantus, but they are semi and Tikas, because they have been mixed with a whole lot of different tribes, and they have also mixed with Fulanis. Sometimes the Tikas you might confuse because most of them have adopted a Muslim religion, and most of them have adopted a Fulani, but most of them have also mingled with other Bantu tribes. So they live closer to the Bantus. You go to places in Cameroon like Fumban, they live closer to the Bamileke people, So yeah, the Mundang, but like I said, what is his name? Wes Morris. They look, they are semi. So yeah,
Okay, so they're not
they are not full. Yeah, they are not full Bantus. Yeah, they are semis. You kind of know what semi is. People, the other Bantus that have been mixed with other tribes, intermarriage, and do. Because when there were great migrations, they were moving into other tribes that were already established, right, into the Congo, Kenya, and all these other places. So now they get involved and mingle with these tribes, intermarry with these tribes. So, despite the fact that they are these are Bantus, but because of those intermarriage and mingling, they're now semi. They are not original. Original have kept their originality since from time memorial and all of that.
Interesting. Okay. AA6 says Jude is Bangwa. I'm Bakweri. You have Bafo, Banyagi, and many other Ba tribes. Okay, so you guys put a Ba in front of your tribe.
Yeah, a lot of tribes. If you go online and type in all of these tribes, they will pop up Bakweri, Bakosi, Bafo, Bayangi, Bangwa, all of yep. So Basa and all these things. These are major tribes in Cameroon. We have over 256. It's not like Kenya where you have a major tribe, or in Ghana where you have a major tribe that they speak one local language. In Cameroon, just moving from one town to another is a whole different language. It's a whole different dialect. So we don't have like a major, even in the Bantus. Despite the fact that we are all Bantus, we have similarities in the tribe because the Bantus were also separated. So what kept them together was the BA, the people that speak the Ba language. So the people that speak the Ntu language. So you have when you hear of the Bangwa, it means the Ba is the people that speak the Nwen language. That's what we speak, the Nwen language. You also have the Ba that speak the Sian language and all of that, Bakosi, Bayangi, and all these things. So that's how you could identify them based on that. But the language is totally, it's a Bantu language, but it has transformed. Like other tribes, when they split it, they decided to transform that language into something else, but taking vocabularies from the major Bantu language. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's not like, if I go to a Bayangi tribe, I'm gonna understand their language. I might not, because despite the fact that we are Bantus, I might not understand their language, you know. And it's the same if I go to a Bafo or a Bamile. I might understand some word in Bamileke because now we are too close. The Bangwas and the Bamilekes are more closer um in that part of Cameroon than other Bantu tribes as well. So yeah, that's why it's hard for us in Cameroon to communicate in a bigger tribal language. You know, that's why it's only probably English, French, and stuff like that. So
Okay. Sounds good.
oh,
Sounds good. Foundational Bantu American. That's what Namizi is.
FBA, yeah, right. That used to be another name that I used to use, Foundational Bantu American, the FBA. You know, maybe Nagmizi wanna be a Bantu. You know, I mean, being a Bantu, you're gonna like it. You know, Bantu from South Africa, Cameroon, Angola. You know, we are all over in East and West, Central. You know, but we have to take West African back. You know, some places in West Africa. If you go to Liberia, right? Liberia, they have a tribe called Bassa. And when I did a research between Bassa in Liberia and the Bassa in Cameroon, come to find out it was one of those Bantu people that were, you know, when slave trade was abolished, the Bantu that were freed in in Liberia did not actually go back to the state did not actually go back to the interlands in Cameroon and all these places. So they stayed in Liberia and other towns and kept their Bantu names. So you will have sporadic Bantu tribes in West Africa because when the slavery was abolished, the guys that the Bantus that stayed in these places did not actually go back where they were getting from. So they stayed in the coast. So you have the Bassas in Liberia. You also have other sporadic Bantu tribes in some West African countries as well. So
Okay. Shout out. Namizi says my haplogroup is Bantu.
what's this guy talking about? They need Judy to do 23 and me. We still don't know if he's Fulani or not. What the heck are you talking about? I'm a pure Bangwa. You know, I speak my language fluently, and both my parents, you know, and my DNA. I don't need to do DNA from the white man. We know who we are. When we look people in their face, we can tell who our people are. You know, when I see a Bantu, a Bangwa person, you know, that just me looking that tribal mark. I have tribal mark in my hands. That's how we identify our tribe. Some have it in their faces. My tribal hands are in my hand. You know, once I greet someone from my tribe, once they see my hand with the tribal mark in it, that little cut, they know, yes, this person is from my tribe. And that's how most Bantus identify people from their tribe, tribal mark.